Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are back once again with another two-color 12-string bracelet. This one is pattern 105408, and the Kumi, in case you're interested, is number 802. So yeah, it turned out okay. I went into this thinking that white would be really good with the gray, that there would be enough contrast for it. What I didn't account for was that the light gray patches were sometimes really, really long, and it sort of blends in, and I'm a little unhappy with the results. However, I am pretty happy with the pattern itself. The pattern itself took 63 minutes, so just over the hour mark. And it sort of segments, like you could kind of build up a little area at a time and then make a bigger thing, so it sort of segments all right. But there was also like working on it in a way that I was sure to not make mistakes, because I was kind of worried about like getting it wrong, because it is a little bit more complex. It's definitely an intermediate type bracelet to work on. You kind of need to do all the steps to kind of get it to turn out all right. And for all general purposes, it turned out fine, with the exception of maybe the contrast. However, if I shine my ultraviolet light at it, the black light, it lights up the white and not the gray, so that looks pretty cool. That is kind of a neat feature of it. So if you're like the kind of people that goes to a club, the pattern really shines through with the black light. So that's kind of a thing. I was also a little bit like early on worried that, see, it does the pattern with the diamond 3 times, then the center happens, which is like a different kind of diamond, and then there's 3 afterwards. And early on, I kept getting really worried that I was like gonna set it up wrong and not get the center correct. It's a little bit paranoid. Oh yeah, there was a spot where a bunch of strings all got tangled up. That was a little pause there. But I was a little concerned that I wouldn't get it right. Sometimes the paranoia definitely helps me to prevent myself from making a mistake. But I mean, I don't know. I could probably do without the extra drama, but there was definitely some concern there. It definitely happened where I was looking at it like, oh, I'm gonna make a mistake. Oh, I'm just gonna have so many knots to have to undo, and then it just worked. So I don't know what to tell you there. Sometimes I think that being a little overly concerned prevents anything wrong from happening. So, oh, this is definitely a case of, though, where the pattern itself there are points where you can totally see that the strings went a certain way, just by where the dart continued on or something like that. Because there's, more than one row next to each other kind of doing this thing. So it's probably not the best pattern for a variegated. It is still interesting, and don't get me wrong, it's still interesting, but there are other patterns I would say that might have worked out better for the string in general. Just saying. I'm not afraid to say that, sometimes my choices don't pan out quite the way I thought they would. I thought this one would be interesting. I thought it would be kind of cool. But then, after it's all said and done, I kind of look at it like, seen better, And I don't take that lightly. I look at this, though, as an opportunity to learn to see these things and say, okay, that's a thing, maybe try to avoid that in future projects. And yeah, I think I will. We still have a bunch of the variegated floss left over from the sample pack. So there's going to be more videos like this next month, and I'm not sure if it's enough to last the whole month or not. We'll see. But there's going to be some more, so I'm going to try to pick some better patterns for it, and we'll see what we can come up with. I'm also going to try for better contrasts. Like I said, I thought the white would be really good with gray. I thought the contrast would be enough. But no. And I'm not even sure if like what color would have been better. Maybe like a bright red so that you would have the contrast, or maybe black perhaps would have been a better one. I don't know. But I guess the fact that I don't know means I should experiment more. It means I should try different things and see what really comes out the best. And you know, I like the idea that I'm bringing you along for this journey of learning new things and trying new things and seeing what comes of it. You know, I think that's valuable. I think that's why I really enjoy making these videos, is the fact that I'm giving myself the opportunity to learn, and you guys can actually just watch it and be like, yes, that he makes a good point. I too shall prevent myself from making poor judgments and bracelets that I don't care for, because he did it already and I can learn from that. Also, having this thing centered and knowing that the string that I cut works no matter what the pattern is really paid out for me today, because if I wasn't using my own template, which is made to the length that my strings, where I cut it at 1/3 of a skein, if I didn't have it sorted out like that, I might have run out of string. Those grays get used all through the whole bracelet, and when it came down to the end of the bracelet, they were getting kind of short. They were still long enough that I could make the tassels okay, but if I had misjudged it, if the bracelet ended up longer or whatever, I might have run out of string. If I didn't cut my string the way I do, I may have run out of string. And that's something I really want to be able to teach you guys, is like, you know, once you figured out what's a good length and, you know, what works for pretty much most people, because if you want to like give them away or sell them or whatever it is you're into, knowing what length of the bracelet should be and how long you need your string to be in order to conquer any pattern, that kind of means something. That it kind of turns into a thing where, you know, having the confidence that you're not going to scrap a bracelet because you ran out partway through, that's something to also learn along the way. Like, and I teach this all the time. I tell you how long my strings are, how I built out my templates, how I've done this stuff. So that's, you know, hopefully that can help you guys as well. So the bracelet flips in the middle, and I was suddenly concerned at first that once it flipped, it was going to become more difficult, because I was having a pretty easy go of the first part. But it turned out that no, they both pretty much have their own sort of way about going about it, that I wouldn't say that one side was necessarily easier than the other. It just meant that I kind of started to get into a rhythm and then had to turn it around the other way, so you kind of don't get to have the rhythm. So that was kind of a thing. We're way past the halfway point. I just need to stop it for a moment here. Thank my YouTube members for making this possible. I really enjoyed this journey that we have. I know I've been doing this for a long time, but there's still things that I'm learning, and I'd like to share that with you guys. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe. And yeah, we'll see what we can make. I'm enjoying what I do. I really do. Even if the cameras weren't rolling, you would still find me making bracelets, you know. I even came in early on a day off, just because there was a pattern in my mind that I really wanted to work on. And it was supposed to be a day where I like get away from it all and go sit and relax and let my mind come up with ideas for colors or come up with ideas for other stuff and just kind of relax. And I cut it short to come home to make knots. So it's that powerful for me. It really, it's how I relax. It's how I unwind. And yeah. And I know there's so much more to learn. There's so many patterns I've never tried. There's color combinations I've yet to put together yet. Sometimes I come up with an idea, putting a couple together, and I absolutely love it. The bracelet before this one, absolutely loved it. But then this one comes along, and yeah, I'm a little less thrilled, but a little bit wiser for it after all. You know, like I kind of did learn a little something. So if you have thoughts, questions, you can leave it in the comments. If there's something you're working on, you got questions about it, you need help, I would recommend going over to Discord, because then you can, like, you know, post a picture, and then, you know, because you can't really do that in the YouTube comments. So yeah, we have a pretty cool group over there as well. Like, I don't know why, but there's pet photos and all kinds of other silly stuff, works in progress and completed things, and just all these whatever. It's just a place where people can chat, show off their stuff. So I think it's kind of cool. I think we're getting towards the end of this. Hang on. Yeah, I think that's the dark part of the diamond. So yeah, yeah, it is, because that white one didn't go out 2 spaces. So yeah, we're coming to the end of this. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like button. It'll help get this video out in front of some more people to watch, which could help me a lot. You know, we want to grow the channel and get to the point to where we can have more giveaways and do more stuff. So that would be great. And yeah, here comes the big reveal. Let me know what you think of it. You know, I just leave a comment below. Tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 what you thought of the bracelet. And thanks for watching. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.